Hey lover, Roslynn back at you one more again. I hope everybody is doing blessed. I'm doing blessed and highly favored. And I hope the same for you. And with all that being said, for my family, growing extended family, thank you for all the support. Much love, blessings, and I hope you were able to resonate. Yeah, I messed up my whole intro. I know. I'm just multitasking. But anyways, if you are new, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know when I'm about to upload my next video. And if you're comfortable enough, please drop a line. I would love a chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know me, even if it's about the positive feedback to the content of the video, or you want to share your experience of your empathic gift. And if you find a video uplifting and gives you good vibes that you would love to share with a loved one, family, or friend, or even a fellow empath that are going through trying times in their life, and you want to, if they need spiritual guidance, confirmation, validation towards life path, or even soul purposes, please go ahead and share them. While you're at it, give it a thumbs up, like, and also share on social media favorites wherever you see fit. As always, thank you so much for love and support, and I hope you're able to resonate with the content of my video. And the video I'm doing today is Twin Flame 101. Heyokas, you are the CEO of your path. It's time to demote, promote, part ways. You're going through a frequency clear out. I know, what was it, about a week ago, I did my chat, and I felt a lot of people. It was a vision. And I was like, what? I forgot there was, putting two and two together. There must have been a very powerful flip in the atmosphere with these moon phases and stuff, because it's been hitting crazy when there have been like constant, like especially when it was back to back to back on 2 days. I think it was like last month on 20th and 21st, or 21st and 22nd. It was like that. So it was revealing different things that's in that sequence of change for you. And like I was telling in the other video, is about you become very peaceful and appreciative of your vibration of peace, and you get a deeper understanding about certain things that you're very selective about that's in your life. And it's just like a lot of different things. You've gone through a lot of changes, and it's just like the universe is saying, stop trying to be in a rush where you feel like you time and your tables have changed. Like you're like, oh, I've been going through this. I should have been here, and I'm not here. And they're wanting you to know you're exactly where you need to be. A lot of times it can be very frustrating, especially if whatever the situation is that you're trying to get up out of anyway. But this is that learning experience they want you to be able to face, so you don't go through these initial experiences again. And a lot of times we hate certain things that come out that we don't know fully what happens. We don't know fully what we're up against until it's too late. You're in different situations, and it's in your life where you can see a lot of different change, because a lot of times when you're dealing with situations, especially if it's like generational curses, especially them karmic cycles hit deep. And going through these different things, even when you're facing an experience of twin flame connections too, that's on a whole different level, which is beautiful, but it's actually tragic at the same time, because that mess hits heavy with you, and it's making you go through some intense changes that you may have not wished where you didn't, because that twin flame thing is so much different than any other experience you've ever had in your life. Was getting you to be able to understand your path and the changes that are needing to take place in your life. You are that CEO coordinator where you have a company that you're trying to build up. Okay, you trying to allow yourself to have different franchises in different places, because you're doing different things. But for those things to happen, you have to be very selective about what you choose to do, how you move, what you choose to share, in different companies you keep. Like I've said before, I just like being around a lot of people in my life, and I didn't care what they had going on. I just felt like the only way I can feel important is about having a lot of people in my life. But then it's just like you can have 1 million people in your life and be, and you can still feel alone, especially if they're not on the same vibe as you. But when you go through these situations, it tend to make your life change, because I'm so introverted. And, I used to talk to people before, like, man, I used to go to the club. It was like from Thursday all the way until Saturday, and if we can find something to get into on Sunday, we right back at it. Now, you can't pay me to be in front of a lot of large crowds. I'm like, I said, I got to put me a couple of crystals on, keep them in my person, different things like that, where I don't like being around a whole group of people. I don't like getting close to people. I don't like people touching me, different stuff like that, especially, whatever specialty of, gifts that you have. There are certain things that's intensified, because if you start doing an intense clearance within yourself, it's like you're going through a spiritual colonic, with your life. You getting all the excess BS out of your life, where it kept you constipated and kept your stomach all upset and all this other junk, that it kept you behind. It made you lag a little bit. But these are those things where, if I want better in my life, I gotta talk better. I gotta, speak like I'm blessed. Don't be talking about what you lack and what you want, and you don't got this and you don't have that. You keeping that mindset of what really ain't important. That if you allow yourself to focus on the main thing that you have, and just the vibrations on how you see it and how you speak upon it, it can open a lot of doors for you, regardless on what's going on. It can open a lot of doors for you, just because the way you allow yourself to be very selective about how you choose to speak on your person, on your path. There's a lot of different things you are not supposed to be speaking about right now. You got to be very selective, because it's just like a lot of people are not just in competition with you, but they're in competition with themselves. And it's not that positive competition. It's like, they're trying to do some devilish things or trying to cut corners, which also has a lot of consequences if you choose to do that. So there's a lot of different things that you may want to connect with people. And there's some people that I'm seeing in different visions is where you need to not deal with that anymore. You need to not allow yourself what they're trying to do was up their sleeve, a lot of different things, because these are the things that's taking place. It puts a balance in nature when it comes to empaths. It's like, I tell people, you have to be very selective about the people you welcome into your life. A lot of times when it deals with these certain platforms that you have, whether it's TikTok, Snapchat, what was it, Discord, all these other different things, it carries very massive energy, not through the people, but just within the electric connections. You never know what you're plugging yourself into. So you got to be very selective about that, those different things. I say, even with me being on YouTube, I'm very selective about what I choose to, invite into my life, because I see what different things do. And I always tell people, you have to understand, the more you're being open to your gift, and the more you being open to evolve spiritually, through insight, through life lessons, through knowledge that is being guided by the tribe and all these different things, because it's just like different tribes is coming together doing some kind of stuff behind the scenes and stuff like that. But I can't talk about it. So okay, never mind. Okay, there's different things that's taking place that it may make sense further down the line or whatever, but these are the things they're telling you about. There are certain things in your life, in your line, especially where it connects to your spiritual interests, interest or your gifts and stuff like that. Because I know I deal with a lot of people. Well, I don't want to say a lot of people, a few people that do tarot card readings, and I only mess with. I'm very selective about that, because I don't play when it comes to stuff like that. And there's a lot of people, and I say you have to be very careful even about the cards that you read for certain people, because sometimes, that energy that they're wanting you to do is carrying across your vibration, and you need to, if they're telling you, you need to, especially if you're getting into that vibration where you're very hyped and then you're drained for a minute, you need to understand there are certain people that the devil knows what's going on. Well, he thinks he knows what's going on into your life. If he feels like there's a big shift going and stuff like that, I see behind the scenes that they're trying to dumb you down. They, you know how it's like ignorance is blessed. Anytime you're open-minded towards things, you know, people want to know you doing the devil's work. You know, I had people do that. I said, I laughed. You try to talk shit to me, I'm just like, okay, keep on and put my horns on you, but leave me alone if you're thinking I'm like that. So, you know, they don't do that, you know. But these are the things that, you know, they want to keep you, you know, scattered and shattered on different things. So they're wanting you to be very choicey. If there's certain things that you just can't figure out, it don't matter how long people have been in your life, if they're family members or not. You know, if this is, you know, be peaceful for your own existence, and universe is telling you, hey, I understand that maybe family or whatever, but they ain't got no good tidings with you. You got to cut that off. You can't be attached to the dealings that they're doing, because there's a lot of people that's opening up and they're not doing the initial work that needs to be done within their healing. And for the vibes that they're at, you know, they're opening up a lot of forces can be very damaging, you know, towards your existence through your spirit. Because a lot of times when you are having these connections on a very negative standpoint with certain people, and they're not wanting them, they don't want to allow themselves to either accept, be honest with themselves, be honest with the situations they're in, or take accountability or responsibility. That's the devil that likes that. They keep them going in that because they don't want them to be truthful with themselves. They want them to stay into that sequence of, you know, leave it alone. You know, these people, they're doing stuff and it's not good. You're crazy. They're crazy, this and this and that, you know. So where they're doing that, and these people have very dark attachments to them. There'll be certain times you may see them and it could be you see an extra, you know, attachment to them, and you can't be in that situation, because right now it's like my mom used to say, is very damaging towards you, especially like if you have elders, because my mom, you know, my mom's straight Brooklyn. They do all that and empath. But going through that, it's just like you taking a scrub, a soft scrub shower, where all your pores are open and you jumping right in 90, you know, negative 90-degree weather or negative 30-degree weather, and you out there naked. You gonna get all type of sicknesses, and that's what's taking place right now. So there's a lot of different people that you may see. Sometimes it's like when I start getting these visions and I start seeing a lot of people, I keep my distance. You know, I start, you know, burning my sage. I ain't got time for all that, you know, because there are certain changes that's taken into the spectrum of, you know, spirituality, especially these children that are on the spectrum. I always call them God's, you know, silent alarm. There's a lot of people that have children with autistic needs and autistic, you know, ways, and they tend to know things, or they do a you know, they start acting different, and this is not nothing that you have to worry about, even though you may be concerned. But the changes that are going in, they usually connect with that before you do, and you can be very like a potent empath, like you up there. But with them being the way they are, that was your good luck charm to keep you, you know, into that balance that you're having, because they will start to do things in a totally different nature that they're not used to doing, and it's not leading towards anything bad. It was just like a shift that took place, because there's a lot of times, you know, when they try to give me this explanation, because I've had friends that have children that are on the spectrum, and it's like you're like, Roslynn, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my kids, you know, I'm not understanding, because there's a lot of people that I connect with that didn't learn late. They didn't find out that these different things, they didn't find out about that, you know, what they had until later on. There are some people, you know, you find out right before they're born, but they're going through a massive shift that may feel like, what's wrong with you? You know, you're okay, you know, because you go in panic mode, anybody that has children, but it gets, I know, very intense for people that carry children with different lines of spectrum. You know, some aren't verbal, some got Asperger's, you know, but these are the ones, you know, and it's just, especially with the new babies that's been born through this pandemic, they're on a whole different level of spectrum. that they moving fast. That's one of the other guys keeping secrets. So they tend to put these secrets and stuff like that through children with special needs, different autisms and stuff like that. But you'll start noticing different frequencies, just different vibrations, where some of them will make you want to break camp. Like, I don't know what the heck you got going on with you, but stay away. The power of Christ compels you. Go away. You got to do that. So it's just like they're adding an intense vibration to you, because there's certain things that you're going on at next level that you're going to have to be attentive to these things. Don't never second guess certain things that you may have not been able to pick up on before. You had to go through emergency clearances for you. That's why there's like a lot of these, people had to go through solitude. You had to go through hermit. There are so many different things. You were staying away from, social media and stuff like that. I had even changed what I focused on watching. So I knew there were certain things that's going on. And then with this full moon, I think it happened last night, and there's still some in the area, in the world. They're still going on, that you're going through an intense clearing, and it's transference. And this is just heightening everything to make you extra hypersensitive, like you ain't sensitive already as it is. So you're going to start feeling things. You're going to start moving things. You could be in a complete conversation with somebody, and it's something just gonna make you stop talking, and that's for your benefit. Certain things you may watch, it could be a phone call, it could be a text message, or even if you're here on YouTube and you make videos and something act up, that's for your own protection, or you can come like, hey, why didn't you get that text? You're inspired. It's like, what text? There was a reason for that. Leave it alone, and those are certain things. Because I remember I had in my chat, there were certain people I was really picking up on, like, hey, do you know this, and that? And I told them, hey, don't go into detail. We can speak on this on one thing, but they wanted me to tell you about this now, So there's a lot of different things. Like if you carry many, social sites, social platforms and stuff like that, you have probably been geared and reared where you're like, man, look, they got too much stuff going on right now on here, especially after the 9/11 thing. That's still intense with a lot of people that's taking place, because that, even though it happened 20 years ago, that was a certain pattern of time that really just like shook the world at that time. And, it still carries, a lot of stuff like that. But, okay, they don't want me to talk about that one either. But it's been very intense. So you may be feeling kind of off, where you can be kind of very hyperactive, like, I had a whole bunch of candy or whatever. But then there are going to be certain things that where you can be at work, and you could be, even if you're like singing to yourself and have a thought, and all of a sudden you just stop. If there's something that just is not sitting right with you, you don't know what it is, and it's just telling you, I don't know what it is about that person. I can't put my finger on it. If you can't put your finger on it, it's telling you there's something that's going to be revealed, and you can't be in that connection with them. Okay. And there's also people that choose not to, they rather stay oppressed, and there's a lot of people that want to come out and, put narratives on you because you're being open-minded, and they'll be the same ones that choose to only want to select certain things that they want to believe in, because if it's still out there that they can't really function on what that is, they're going to call you evil, whatever. It's all right, because this is what God gave you anyway. But if it is leading you to, hey, if you have many of these social sites, and if there's certain ones you don't use, get rid of them. Because that's leaving you on open lines of staying in connection with certain things that's not going to be healthy for your space. So they're telling you need to, no matter how many people you got on here, because a lot of times, unless you're like some of these big YouTubers that carry, a lot of, audiences through the TikToks and stuff like that. It's like when my boy Aaron, what is it? Aaron? Is Aaron and God, I forgot what his name is. Dang. But it was some people that I listened to on TikTok that I watched a lot of their crime investigations and stuff like that, which is very interesting to me. But it's just like people on that spiritual level as within us. If you're being guided to stop talking to people, please don't question what universe is trying to prepare you for. That's for your own protection. Because a lot of times we feel stuck in the middle of a hard place, like a rock in the middle of a hard place, whatever you want to call it, because we have known somebody for a long time, or this could be a family member. And we feel like, well, wait a minute, I can't do that. Yes. Because you feel guilty on disconnecting that person, you don't know what they're not feeling guilty on about what they're trying to send your way. Because I tell people, when you have to understand, when you don't went up to that next level of spirituality and you're being open, you clear. So when you're clearing a lot of different things in your life, because there's a lot of people doing detox, they're clearing, cutting cords, you're allowing yourself to forgive. And even if there are certain people that are in your life that is still holding that heavy attachment, they want you to be able to understand these are the things that you needed to know about that person. These are also much needed things you had to know about yourself. This is that experience of a blessing that you may need somewhere down the line, or it brought you towards different closure or different information that you had to have within yourself. So allow yourself to make peace with those situations, and allow yourself to disconnect. These things are for your experiences, and as well, your learning is strengthened to elevate you in different ways. And with you being very extra sensitive right now, there's a lot of people, even if you have addictions, there's a lot of different things that's going on where, where people still have addictions. And a lot of times it doesn't have to just deal with harsh drugs. It's like anything of any kind. And it's just like anything, like if you're using your greenery, your herbs and stuff like that, if you're not using it for a spiritual reason, because there's a lot of people that deal with it for, seizures, epilepsy. There's people that are using it when they contracted, cancer or, HIV. And there's a lot of people that deal with it for, mental balance as well as chronic pains. But if it's something that you're using to self-medicate to face your fears, your hurts, your pain, that's a very dangerous thing right now. And you don't want to do it. I didn't even know where the heck this is coming from. And when they're guiding me to say that, I'm just going to say that. Because there's a lot of things that we're facing right now that where you feel like, man, let me go pour a drink. I need a shot. Or let me go ahead and roll up the devil's lettuce. Or let me go back to the white girl sugar booger. Something like that. No racial point, but this is what they call it here in Georgia. So, the devil is trying to gather up his army in every way. And he usually goes through weaknesses. And with you being in the strength of a higher pillar than you were before, because a lot of times you can hold that self-doubt, like, I'm not growing, I'm not really learning. And that's what the devil wants you to feel, because there's a lot of people that I know, and there are certain things that it brings up, stress, anxiety. It's like you can be very vile. Like you can be just cussing, and the next, you start having this peace where you cry because you release so much. You just are not that aware. If you're not really in tune with your strength and the vibrations that you carry, you can be leaping to a high pitch. And for the devil to know, there are certain things they don't want you to to figure out about yourself, about your person, what you carry. So they're connecting and they're trying to attack through your kids, or they try to attack through your parents, your loved ones, through your bank accounts, through your marriage, through pregnancy. All these different things is being tested right now. And with all these turn of events is taking place, the devil busy right about now. So he's trying to make sure he can get everybody from God's team to get over there and take over the level. And trying to keep a balance. Because I tell people, if you coming open to some spiritual stuff and you start feeling different, you even notice towards electronics, your vibrations interference. Like people tell me, Roslynn, why don't you get it? I was like, my computer is new, and my stuff still, it look pixelated because it's the energy. And with me having the gift of clairvoyance, audience, basically all the clairs out here, and especially with you being able to be a conduit, and you deal with a lot of people that are already, they don't go on to the upper room. Their energy comes in with me. So sometimes it can have a strong signal, and then sometimes you'll see a light flash across my face, or you'll see some blurred stuff. Maybe you see a family member of mine or somebody of yours, that'll come in. So it's just like I tell people, whatever electronic I use, the static comes with me. So I apologize about that. But yeah, there's a lot of different things that are going on into your life right now where they have guided you towards self-reflection, detoxing. Please, whatever you're doing, don't fall off the wagon or anything. This could be, how there's some people I know that self-harm, when they're dealing with a lot of trauma into their lives, or they have eating disorders, or they're, abusing opiates, or, you hitting that devil's lettuce, the booger sugar, or the brown stuff, whatever you want to call it, the H one. I'm trying to make sure I'm getting, knocked down for saying certain things on here. But, there's a big shift that's taking place. There's a lot of different things that's going on into the world where they're trying to keep it covered, not wanting to have world panic, but you only can cover up so much. God want to make a purpose. He gonna make sure everybody hear it. So, and well as damn devil too. So be very selective about what you choose to entertain. You're going through a very big, massive change, and it's just like you done plugged into the atmosphere where you don't have a spiritual vacuum, and you have space that's open. And when them daggone dark ones and stuff start coming out and stuff like that, and you seeing them, little black things moving past you real quick, because you'll start noticing. I seen my cats looking and stuff like that, and I knew I saw something. And he looked, and he hauled butt the other way, like, I don't know what this is. I ain't trying to ask. I'm gone. So you're dealing with a lot of those different things right now. So you have to be very selective on whatever you're doing. If you are still recovering, from being, with your sobriety, please find some healthy, positive alternatives. They ain't gonna have you going back on those things, because there's a lot of different things, right? Especially right now, especially with a lot of different people, you're hearing where they're putting extra stuff in people's supply. And that's some negative stuff that they're trying to do, because these people, they know who they're touching, and they know what kind of ways to get to them. And a lot of it's going through different addictions. So please be careful, and please find healthier alternatives to heal from whatever you may be going through on your mind. So I hope you were able to resonate. I know within an hour, not even an hour, probably about 30, 45 minutes from now, I'm gonna have my live chat. So I appreciate y'all watching the videos, and I miss y'all so much, and I love the support y'all are really giving me, and just our interaction, whether it's on my chats or through the my podcast, which I also have a link in there as well that you can connect with. And even through my live chats. It's going to be at 6:30. And what time is it now? 5:18. So much love to you. My love and prayers are going out to you. Whatever you're going through right now, they may have your mind scattered and your heart heavy. It's going to lead you towards something better. Whatever you're manifesting into your life that brings in prosperity in all forms, I hope it comes so much bigger and better than you ever imagined, and comes sooner than you expected. Even through social distancing, make sure you give out love, light, positivity, words, vibes, frequencies. You just never know. All those things can really take somebody a long way. You'll see me on my next video. Much love to you. God bless. Namaste.